wonder how that bike trip's going. I wonder if the government knows he's hiding. It'll probably take a few more months. Florida's a long way from Rhode Island. Watch her rest her hands inside her lap. I try to focus hard 'cause her eyes don't make the frame. I try to work up the courage to kiss the bottom half of her face. The more I cut her hair in Baltimore right before I left. I watch her sitting by herself, talking to herself, breathing calmly and trying to catch her breath. Casanova just can't turn the charm on or find any of the right vibrations. I know these women, if he don't want to do it, then they are probably just gonna make it. You can never tell when they're fucking everything around. You're feeling is common, even though you never felt so alone. I could probably catch a ride to your house, borrow a bike to get back home. She says you gotta promise not to break, no matter how far you are bent. She says I gotta shift my position and try to get comfortable again. We both chose the same tone. Mine was an alarm clock ringing from a cell phone. Mouth the words to me so we can keep things quiet, and I'll still know exactly what you mean. And it is probably just my friends fucking around. Yeah, it is probably just my friends fucking around that never cut me any slack. It's just my friends fucking around. Just my friends fucking around. Yeah, it is probably just my friends fucking around that never cut me any slack. It's just my friends fucking around. I have this dream that I am hitting my dad with a baseball bat, and he is screaming and crying for help. And maybe halfway through it has more to do with me killing him than it ever did protecting myself. And I believe that, yeah, Dad, maybe no one is perfect, but I believe that you are pushing your luck. It just sucks it played out like this. A terrible movie, you can tell none of the actors even give a fuck. You look good tonight, girlfriend. Can I sleep in your bed? And when I crawl out in the morning, can I stay inside your head? 'Cause you were high school, and I was just more like real life. And you were okay as a girlfriend. I was just more like his wife. I'll do the push-ups, I'll wear the makeup, I'll do whatever he wants all night. 'Cause you were okay as a girlfriend. I was just more like real life. A long time ago, my great-great-great-great-grandfather took something that did not belong to him. And that is why today I have an eagle in my veins. I am part Native American, and I am leaving as soon as I come. As soon as I come, you will probably forget my name. I hope I fall asleep at the wheel and crash my car. I could just stay here, cause you look good tonight, girlfriend. Can I sleep in your bed? And when I crawl out in the morning, can I stay inside your head? You were high school, and I was just more like real life. And you were okay as a girlfriend, but I was just more like his wife. I'll wear the makeup, I'll do the push-ups, I'll do whatever he wants all night. 'Cause you were okay as a girlfriend, and I was just more like real life, more like real life. More like real life. More like real life. You were high school, and I was just more like real life. And you were okay as a girlfriend, I was just more like his wife. And it is okay, I'll wear the makeup, I'll do whatever you want all night. 'Cause you were okay as a girlfriend, but I was just more like real life, more like real life.
Thank you for swinging by. We got one more for a warm-up. This will be the end of our rock block from the Front Bottoms. I sure do like this band. Hope you check them out. They will make you feel young again. Common Sense Guy will be back. We're waiting for Moz. We are hoping for Memes of Destruction. We are hoping for a couple others. I will not name them, but we will see who swings by. We got a lot of great news. It's in the low bar. Check right down there, right below this video, and you can see that it says Show Map 42518. Click Show More. It will pop up every one of the 5. And Moz, we're going with what you want to do. We are going with your agenda, but I am not the boss here, even on this stream. I love Common Sense Guy. The guy has got great common sense, among other things, and he picks what we do and when we do it. I just say, thank you, Common Sense. I'm glad I can be along for the ride. So here's the last one from the Front Bottoms. This is Maps.
A map in my room, on the wall of my room, and I've got big plans. But I could see them slipping through, almost feel them slipping through the palms of my sweaty hands. And I move slow, just slow enough to make you uncomfortable. Say I hate you, you mean it, and I love you sounds fake. It's taken me so long to figure that out. I used to love the taste, I would do anything for it. Now I would do anything to get the taste out of my mouth. And you're so confident, but I hear you crying in your sleeping bag. But you were broken bad yourself, and you were mad as hell. It felt if you had done anything with anyone else, it would have worked out so well. But you are an artist, and your mind don't work the way you want it to. One day you'll be washing yourself with hand soap in a public bathroom, and you'll be thinking, how did I get here? Where the hell am I? If the roles were reversed, you could have seen me sneaking up from behind. She sees these visions, she feels emotion. She says that I cannot go. She sees my plane in the ocean. And what about your friends? Don't you love them enough to stay? And I say, if I don't leave now, then I will never get away. Let me be a blue raft on the blue sea. I'll blend right in. There is a map in my room, on the wall of my room. I've got big plans, but I can see them falling through, almost feel them slipping through the palms of my sweaty hands. And I move slowly, just slow enough to make you uncomfortable. But you were broken, bad yourself, and you were mad as hell. You felt if you had done anything with anyone else, it would have worked out so well. But you are an artist, and your mind don't work the way you want it to. One day you'll be washing yourself with hand soap in a public bathroom, and you'll be saying, how did I get here? Where the hell am I? If the roles were reversed, you could have seen me sneaking up from behind.
Oh, and I thank you boys so much for being here. I just noticed that the Common Sense Guy is with us, and one of my favorite people outside of the Common Sense Guy, Memes of Destruction. Hopefully everybody got the show map. I know it was a little weird the way I came on today, and we usually have a pre-show hangout. But you know what, boys? Outside of our own needs and desires, you dig it, outside of our own want to get together and bullshit with each other, we don't need it. So I hope you got the show map. We're going to ease. Why don't we ease into this is what I mean by that. I was going to say we're going to, but I don't want to be authoritarian here. Why don't we ease into this? Why don't we ease into this way? Who is with us at the moment is Common Sense Guy and Memes of Destruction. Why don't we do this a little bit more than tell us who you are? You know, tell us something more than that. We'll give the honors to Common Sense Guy by letting him go last. Who are you? What do you know? Where do you go? Who do you blow? What do you say, Joe? All that to memes.
Well, I like turtles. Oh, I'm supposed to say.
No, that's fine.
No,
it sounds like you're in your car, too. Take your time.
That was a plethora of questions. Who do I know? I know many people. Who do I blow? Well, whoever's deserving at the time that's clean and wants it.
All right. It does sound like you're in your car there, mate.
Oh, this stream is mobile.
Yes. Yes. Oh, and so we'll move on as soon as you're done. We'll move right on to the Common Sense Guy. And all of those questions were hyperbolic, just a way to get you to tell us a little bit more. So that said, before we let Common Sense Guy go, because he knows what to do when I give him the floor, tell us something that's on your mind, Memes. It doesn't matter that I'm going to crank you to right now. I'm going to go into the thingamajigger wobber here. And why can't I do that anymore? Common Sense. I used to be able to fucking go in here and like turn people up. It's not even giving me that option anymore. So I think we can hear you. So tell us something. What's going on in your life? If you care to share, what's going on in the world that you want to comment on right now?
Many things, my man. Many things. Like the birds, I'm trying to fly a little bit for this we have going on here in these great United States of America. And my thoughts about what's going on in general is I keep coming back to it. I keep seeing the same things across the entire world. People are people, man. And I just see the same things happening, and that gives me hope. The things that I'm seeing are not necessarily good things right now, but it's a common thread. and I think we're going to touch upon it a little bit more on the show. So that's all we got. CSG, take us away.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's fair enough. I've got lots of things that I want to talk about today. A hell of a lot to talk about. Little bits of pieces that are personal to me. I'm sure most people already had a look onto my channel earlier on. They've been able to find out that I'm not doing too great at the moment. My head's very, very dizzy at the moment, reminiscent as when I used to be sick. I'm doing all right, so don't anybody fucking feel sorry for me, or I'll beat the shit out of all of you.
Never.
But,
yes.
But I'm doing all right. I'm just not feeling myself at the minute, so I need to take a little bit of a break from doing some of the videos. Some of that's to do with the fact of my ailment, so to speak, but some of it is just due to sheer stupidity of politics at the minute. I need to take a break again. I'm still doing all right, but just need a break.
And sheer stupidity of politics is one thing, common sense, but you do pour yourself into this. So I'm sorry I cut you off. Carry on, sir. It's a lot out of you, and we all know that. I'm not giving you an excuse. I'm just saying, much appreciated that you're here tonight. And if you ever need to take time off, you know what I do. I just fucking bugger off. I'll tell you later. I mean, I'm just happy to have you here. And to be perfectly honest, young man, I look up to you, even though I don't even know why. You're younger than me. But I do, and I respect you.
No worries. I respect you too. As I said before, I respect you like a brother, my mate. But yeah, I mean, we've got so much to fucking talk about today. The stories that we've all chosen are really fucking interesting. So we should be quite good. I'm quite interested in what Moz has got to say as well. I have sent you the link in Discord, Moz, if you actually want to get on.
He just jumped in.
Yeah, that's fine. That's cool. So that's a good thing. So I'm quite interested in talking about his policies and the ideas of making a new political party. I like talks like that. So I'm actually really looking forward to today.
So where shall we start? Because to be perfectly honest, I'm glad Moz is here with us, but he is kind of an old timer now. This isn't his first hoorah with us, and I think he'll fit in good. I don't know if I think I got a chance, common sense, to send, but you know what? It's like I tell Moz. He can send me all the outlines he wants, but to be perfectly honest, on this show, just like in the Discord, it may have my name in it somewhere or another, but this is common sense guy. He gets 90% of the stories. He does 95% of the legwork. He does almost 130% of the thinking. So get with him on that, Moz. I did send him the rundown that you gave me. But today, it obviously wasn't in the cards. We still, as he said.
It was. I talked to him on Monday about doing the actual show for Wednesday and having it as one of the main topics. But I then got ill.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I'm saying. So it's
been doing 240% of the work, man. You got to take a break.
Yeah. You're good at math too, you fucker.
Do you want me to give a quick explanation of where I'm at?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
Yeah. Well, obviously, as I keep saying, I'm new to this, but I'm getting better. I've got in easier this time, and I realise it's different people's shows. And as I say, the ideas are just ideas. If you don't even use them, doesn't matter either way. It's just if I'm going to be on and talking, I feel like I should be helping in some way, as I'm not doing any of the technology.
To be perfectly honest, too, Moz, if you see me, in other words, even when I'm playing music, it's still Common Sense Guy's show. He is more or less the head producer of everything that Magic Bollocks, and I'd let Magic Bollocks talk for himself, but this is the truth. Everything that we do as a group, he is more or less our head producer.
Yeah, so, that's fair enough. But then can I speak to you about that contract that you made me sign in your name for the next 4 years?
You mean that NDA,
retainer,
non-compete and all that? That's Kilroy-esque.
Yeah.
And Kilroy may come up today. I don't know. I thought that was such a debauch. I have had parties, impromptu parties at my compound here in northern Michigan that had 10 times the people show up, and they didn't even have to pay me. So I don't know. Maybe that'll work in, but that was very, very good. Very good point.
Well, were you providing booze and food and stuff?
Oh, fuck. Yeah. I mean, that goes without saying up here. If you don't provide booze, they'll fucking hang you in your own yard.
Well, that seems like a good reason to provide it.
Yes,
Exactly.
What we do is we make a PJ. It's called PJ. You holler out a watermelon. You take cut the top off, pop the top off, then you gouge out everything but about a 2-inch rind, all the good pink shit. You fill that up with Everclear. It takes about 4 bottles on a good melon. And then, you let that sit. You put the cap back on it. You put that in the refrigerator. You let that sit overnight. And then the next day, you pop a tap in the bottom of it. And that's called PJ. And that'll get about 75 to 100 people that are professionals shit-faced.
Okay.
Ooh, my liver hurts just thinking about that. Sounds delicious.
Yeah.
But you're the only American here. That's not a new one on you, right, Moz? You've heard of PJ, right? Oh, I mean, not Moz. I meant memes. Sorry. You've heard of PJ, right?
When I hear that, I think of peanut butter and jelly.
Okay. I don't know, because I know that you're from way up north, but I run into a lot of, so I don't know. I don't want to derail this off too much. So I'm going to leave this to my partner and my boss. What shall we do, boss man? Shall we have a little bit of some more talk, or shall we jump into the first story? What are we going to do here, big guy?
To be fair, I would actually really like to entertain the idea of what Moz had. If we have, obviously, his that little thing that he sent, or for him to just explain it to us. I'd really like the idea of.
Sorry, shall I give you a quick explanation of what my idea was?
Yes,
please. I sent you a rough one. Well, I was thinking, if I'm going to, for a Wednesday, just for a laugh, if we entertain the idea of, I don't know what you want to call our group or our side on the internet, of the people that believe the same way we do. And I was thinking, well, why don't we actually draw up a manifesto? But I was going to do it in a joking manner and just as a true politician, offer you things without actually giving them to you. But then I started to think, well, actually, why are we not doing that now? As when you look at all the intellectuals we have in the same sort of sphere as us, British people that want Britain to be British, why don't we actually draw up a real manifesto? I know there's a lot of difficulties in that, but then we could maybe have a floor plan for someone to step into.
Mm.
So kind of like establishing a framework and have other folks kind of finish the actual structure.
Yeah, as I say, I'm no politician. I don't understand the politics behind it and why you can't do that. But if we just lay down some claims like, well, for instance, we would prefer if immigration was stopped or more controlled, we draw it all down, and then in the future, when it obviously all works out because it's my idea, we go to whoever, like Nigel Farage, and say, well, here's your new party. This is what the British people want. Offer it to them. And if it is, let's get them Brexit voters, 17.5 million behind us.
Mm. Well, the first thing that we got to do then is, before we even start thinking of any type of policies, we're going to have to think of a name for the idea or for the movement.
Well, Sargon has a kind of a good name. I don't want to just jump on that bandwagon. Is it too gay for me to just say that is a good idea? And it may, and again, because I read that too, but sorry, memes. There's so many people here. I will try not to be my mother and call every fucking buddy out before I get the actual name. Common sense guy. Is it too much to say that this could be grouped right in with that?
It could be. It's just, I think Sargon, if we're going to do it for our own little collective group, then I think that we should call it our own little collective name. I mean, we can go along the idea of a liberalist or a liberalism movement, but we don't really have to take the name for it. We are generally going to be very, very similar, but at the same time, I do reckon that there is going to be some differences, especially when it comes to policy on crime and immigration. And I think there's going to be some other policy differences on government as well that would be different to the liberalist movement. So I think it'd be good to call it a different name.
What I'm actually thinking long term is, if we could start it up and make a sort of 10-minute clip somewhere that looks professional, no swearing, we actually mean this, we're trying to do it.
Well,
I was thinking long term. Yeah, well, we can all act for a little while. just to get the ball rolling. I was actually thinking that in the future, say once a month, somebody could host a live stream where we pull all these people in, because there are other people with bigger, well, with the knowledge, with the bigger sub count, if you like. And if we kind of stretch it out and once a month for 2 hours have a live stream where everyone who's interested could watch the actual intellectual people, not me, discussing the policies themselves.
So kind of like the idea of a Kilroy digitally in some way, the original concept.
Well, I don't know the original concept, but it
was a free speech
like
convention,
a town hall or a meeting, a council meeting, where we say, well, the first policy is immigration, we discuss it. But I'm just thinking that would be a better way to get a bigger sub count up. And if nothing else, if it kind of worked out and people were actually interested, we could have, I've looked at some like 4 other YouTubers, and if 10% of their sub were actually British and interested in this, the same things we are, you could be looking at 80 or 90,000 people. And at the very least, we could go on like a petition push. We discuss an issue. The next day, the petition's out, and we've got 80, 90,000 loyal people that instantly petition.
Well, I have a name if you want to have an idea what the name would be.
Yeah.
Together for the UK or Together for the United Kingdom.
So are we looking for like a UK-based political movement in addition to the liberalists, or are we looking for kind of like just folks of similar ideologies and or like viewpoints? Like what are we going
I think what I would like to aim for is actually to, because nobody likes the two-party system. Okay, there's going to be money involved and all that kind of side, but is it possible to even set up a new party that is outside of the current government? And if it was that good and it appealed to the 17.5 million Brexit voters, we've got the vote to get that party in and maybe change the system.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why I was thinking about calling it Together for the United Kingdom or Together for the UK is because you don't want to alienate the other side. We will alienate them on the idea of Brexit, but it's about bringing them in for the ideas of we're doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
We're not doing it just to get rid of the European Union. We're not doing it just for the reasons of getting rid of NHS staff or anything else like that. We're doing it because we honestly feel that it's the best thing to do for the country, and we want to entertain the idea of people coming in and working for the country in general. But it's a case that we need to be able to control our borders. It's just as simple as that.
And that's just one thing that I brought up. But I was thinking, if Britain First can actually have a manifesto, then why, with the intellectual people within our sphere, why are we not even trying to do it? Because I think that's where we're falling behind a bit.
I think it's more of a case that we haven't got the numbers to push that for a start.
Yeah, fair enough.
I would tend to just talking total sub counts within a quote unquote skeptic community. There are numbers there, and like Moz was saying, there might be enough numbers if actually implemented the correct way that literally could have changed the referendum. But the question that I have is, does it need to actually be a party per se, or kind of just like a loose confederation of similar, call it, minded folks?
Yeah, I mean, definitely from the start, that would be the goal. Just once a month, 10, 11 YouTubers get together, discuss real issues with, between them 10 and 11, you might have 100,000 people watching because they want to be involved in the issues.
Well, how do we keep it from just being sorry, profanity alert, but a circle jerk?
Well, yeah, that's the thing, but it'd have to be a strict rules, being involved.
If I may, I would suggest that the idea wouldn't necessarily be to get the YouTubers on, but to get the YouTubers to actually go out and become party members and then run. And then that way what you can do is, instead of having a circle jerk, you can invite the MPs from the area where you are onto a specific live stream and then have a little bit of a debate about what's going to be happening in that particular area. And then that should be a little bit better, shouldn't it? Like that.
Yeah,
so, for instance, obviously, you've got Irate Bear.
I'm not suggesting the YouTubers actually be the MPs and end up in the House of Commons or anything like that. I'm just saying,
Be an idea though. It'd be an idea.
Yeah, yeah. I'd love to see certain people sitting in there, just sort of, you know, but just at least get a framework.
Yeah, I mean, you could do it as a different way. You could always have it as people that are running in those different areas and try and get them to come on and join into the party instead. Like, try to attract some of the